Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Got a couple minutes before I start work here at the church. Just to give you an update on a dream I had the other night. So this is 2 nights ago. I meant to upload this yesterday. I just didn't get to it. Just a little warning before I get started. It's not too scary, but this was kind of more of a nightmare than it was just like a crazy dream. So, if you're easily creeped out, just don't listen to it. Okay, so the dream started with me waking up at like 2 in the morning in my dream, so not in reality. But I woke up at 2 in the morning, and the only light in the room was like a little night light plugged into the wall, and this was a room I've never seen before, and I was in a twin-sized bed. So I was like alone, and it was kind of dimly lit, and I woke up and I was kind of like hazy, and I remember I could make out in the corner of my room a clown holding an axe just staring at me. And if you know me really well, you know that I have experience with waking up and seeing things in my room staring at me. Story for another time. But so I was kind of freaked out in this dream, but I remember in the dream I was like convinced I was sleepwalking or something. I was like, this can't be real, and it was kind of creepy. And so I woke up the next night and it was the same deal. There was a clown staring at me, and I remember thinking, I should find out if this clown is real by asking my kids if they're seeing it too. So the next morning in the dream, I asked my kids, Zeke and Ivy, hey, are you guys seeing a clown in your room at night? And they said, yeah, we play with it every night. We play with this clown. And I was like, all right, this is really weird. So I remember choosing to sleep in the room with my daughter, Ivy. So she had her own bed, and I had my bed with the headboard of the bed against, like, facing the doorway, so that, like, if anything was actually coming through the door or whatever, I could, like, wake up immediately and see it. And I remember in the dream at 1:30 in the morning waking up and there was no clown in the room and going, I've got 30 minutes before this clown shows up, and kind of freaking out and going, you know what, I don't know if I want my head right at the door with this clown with an axe. So I turned the bed into the corner so that my head was in the corner so that I could lay down and like watch the door. And laying there watching for 20 minutes or so, I fell asleep and woke up again, and the clown was over me holding an axe. It's like a fireman's axe, and he was like holding an axe staring at me, but I remember the clown looked feminine, not like a dude. And I was freaking out about it. But then like everything went hazy, and I didn't like talk to the clown or anything. I didn't confront it, and woke up the next morning and going, I gotta find out who this is. And so I went on a walk through this neighborhood, and I've never seen this neighborhood in my life. Like, I remember what it looked like and stuff, and I've never been here before. And I remember I was walking and I saw an old woman working in her garden, and who was it? It was a cop or somebody was on the sidewalk, and I was talking with them, and I saw this old woman gardening, and I was like, she looks really familiar. And I realized I think she's the clown. And so the guy that I was talking to, it was a cop or somebody, I said, I'm gonna go just ask her to her face, are you the clown? Are you the one who's in my house? And the guy was like, no, don't do that. This will just get awkward, because if she's not, you're gonna sound crazy and all stuff. And so I like quickly walked over there and I said, hey, I know you. You're in my room every night at 2. And she like just fessed up and was like, you found me, and was like all casual about it. And I realized it was my friend Jessie Like, well, now Jessie Pond, she just got married, but it was our friend from college as an old woman, and that she was dressing up as a clown. And she confessed, I dress up as a clown every night. I get this fireman's axe. I pick the lock to your front door at 1 a.m. And as everyone's sleeping, I come and stand in your room and I watch you guys sleep. And I was like, that is super freaky. Why are you doing that? And she thought it was a funny joke, But then she kind of laughed and twitched her head a little bit, and I realized she's crazy and she's gonna kill us one night. Like, this is not okay. So I called the cops, and the cops concluded that this is awful, that just anyone in a neighborhood can do this, and the government is obviously like failing to protect its citizens and stuff, so we need to exert an entire new regime on the entire country. And so they enacted like this Hunger Games type thing for the country. And I remember everyone was told to leave their homes, and we were ushered into these buildings, these big tall glass buildings that were like business buildings, but every floor was empty, and there were hundreds of cots on every floor, and that's where we were going to live. And I remember we were in lines in the street with like duffel bags filled with as little stuff that we could carry in there and a pillow on top, and we were just holding these duffel bags, moving in line, like making our way to these buildings. And I remember we all went to sleep that night, and everyone went into a deep sleep because they were all drugged. But the drug was specific so that if you had a specific personality type or your brain was functioning in a specific way, that they had an alarm that would go off in the morning, and only certain people would wake up to this alarm. And if you woke up to this alarm, you had to race to get into this caged elevator in a specific time. And if you were one of the people who woke up and made it to the elevator, you were carried off to the games, these like Hunger Games athletic challenges or whatever, and you would compete to get out of the glass buildings and get into like a better state of living. And I remember as the elevator was going up and we were being taken to this arena, I remember in my head thinking, I'm not athletic at all, and I'm not going to do very well with these games. And that's when I woke up. So, there you go. Thanks for listening. Please, if you want to, subscribe so that you can get updates on whenever I post a new video. See you guys.